because you guys all use so many awesome colors on your backdrops on your boards, you know, you covered them with paper. I want to talk to you a little bit about the color wheel. The color wheel is just something we use in design that helps us select colors that go well together, that are appealing to the eye, and that people like to see together. So there's 3 ways you can do this. You can pick complementary colors, colors that are opposite sides of the color wheel. So Logan, what color did you cover yours with?
Teal.
How did I know you were going to say teal? That's a popular color. So we'll just say yours is blue. So the complementary color for blue is orange.
Yeah.
How about Cammie, what did you cover yours in?
Same color.
Anybody choose a different color? Purple. All right, perfect. That's what I needed. So Ethan, if you were to use a complementary color scheme, you would use yellow. So you're just picking opposite. Now you might want to think about the theme of your project as you're selecting a color as well. So let's look at an example. This is Ethan's example right here. It's a yellow background. It's got, well, it's the opposite, I think, but it's yellow and purple. Do you notice how the title, the border, and the outline of the headlines are all the same? This is a very consistent board. I really like this board a lot.
It looks like Mineola.
It does look like Mineola. All right, so the next way you can choose colors is you can choose analogous colors. So that means colors that are next to one another on the color wheel. Hayden, what color did you pick? Pink. So we'll say you're kind of in the red family. So if you were to pick analogous colors, you could pick purple or orange, or purple and orange, and those 3 colors together would work because they're next to one another on the color wheel.
What about black?
So black, great question, Jack. Black is a neutral. Black, white, gray, those are all your favorite people at recess because they like to play with everybody. Okay? They don't have a bad friend. They like to play with all the colors.
I'm black.
You're black? So you need to think, Jack, about which of these colors fits best with your theme. What's your theme or what's your project?
Baseball.
Okay, so you have a sports theme.
Red or white.
Exactly. Or maybe red and white. Perfect. Anna, what color did you pick?
Purple.
Purple. All right. So Anna can pick blue and red. That would be analogous. So it's just 3 colors together that are next to one another on the color wheel. Does that make sense?
So, what about like Miley? Miley has like a green.
Oh.
White now.
Are you videotaping all this?
Well, she's got green and blue, right, which are next to one another, and then white is a neutral. So that's okay. So let's go back to Anna's. So Anna was purple.
Mm-hmm.
So Anna could also go this way and just go purple, blue, and green. Or she could go this way and go purple, red, and orange. Those are still analogous color families, all right? So it doesn't have to be just the one on either side. You can go 2 to the left or 2 to the right. And then finally, you can choose monochromatic colors. These are just colors that are all in the different shades of the same color. So let's see, Cheyenne, what color did you pick?
Yellow.
Yellow. So you could pick all different shades of yellow, from a honey golden yellow all the way down to a real light pale yellow. And that would be monochromatic.
Where's black?
Look at all the purples. Yeah, so this is a really fun way to do it.
Black and yellow.
I've got an awesome
How do you pick your
example.
color?
So here's an example of a monochromatic color scheme. So even though it has a pattern, we've got the blue clouds, it's a different shade of blue than what we've got over here, right? So we've got a darker shade and a lighter shade. So this is actually monochromatic. I really like this board. Does anybody want to guess some things that I like about this board?
Clouds.
No?
Blue.
No?
That title.
It's colorful.
Okay.
There's a lot of white
Let's stop on the title. Yes, there is a lot of white space, and I do like that. But let's go back to the title, Jack. That's great. I love this title because in 2 words, plus this little graphic right here, I know exactly what this project is about. This student was talking about helicopters, and it has something to do with how they lift, right? I know exactly. It's also big and bold. It catches my attention. So you might think about maybe adding a graphic to help explain your title if you need to. I love the white space, like you mentioned. It's very clean. It gives my eye a nice place to rest throughout the whole thing. Anything else that you think I might like?
The titles, like
The headlines?
off and on. Like
What do you think I like about the headlines, Cassidy?
they're all the same and they're all like the same.
The headlines are very consistent throughout the
all
project,
the
and I
same
do like that.
size.
They're all the same size. That's right. So, this is just an example of a board that I like. I've got a couple more examples that we'll talk about together, and then it'll be time for you guys. Oh, the mock-up. I forgot the mock-up. So, one thing that is very helpful before you start just attaching elements to your board, is to create a mock-up. And this was my mock-up for my board. Just take a piece of paper and fold it in thirds like this, and then you'll see you've got a little mini board right here.
That's
And
cool.
You guys know about how much information you have in all of these different areas. And so you can kind of just draw out in pencil where you want to put your information on your board, right? How much space it's going to take. This just helps you determine the best use of the space and how to size your different elements. This part, the mock-up, should be real quick, less than 5 minutes. Don't take a lot of time stressing out about this. What it's going to do is when it's time to actually attach the pieces to your board, that part's going to go really fast because this is going to be your map for how to do it.
And
Okay?
I'm gonna
Does that make
I'm
sense?
gonna add on to that because I had an 8th grader ask the question earlier. He was ready, he thought, to attach a few pieces to his board. I would wait, have everything ready to go on your board, and lay it out first before you ever get the tape or the photo mounts to put it on there, because you might crowd everything up to the top, and then you have this big white space is good, but too much is also kind of awkward. So
That is a great tip. Definitely lay it out before you attach it. So let's look at these 3 examples right here. What? All right, so let's look at bringing down the house. Tell me what you think about that board. What catches your attention?
The title.
What?
Too close together.
Okay, Jaden thinks it's too close together. What do you?
It's
Right.
like big.
It's big. It's bold. It catches your attention, right?
All the different
Yeah.
colors.
I personally like this title because I think it's very intriguing. Bringing down the house, like I want to know more. What does bringing down the house mean? What are they talking about? So I like this title. Anything else about this board that you guys notice?
Everything's close together.
Okay. Close together.
Oh,
What's it called?
the conclusions or whatever.
The headlines?
Yeah, those are big.
Yes, I like that, Kimmy. I like that the headlines are very clear. You know exactly what pieces of data you're looking at. I do. I like that board. Let's look at the one on the top right where it says, it's kind of hard to read, let it rain. What do you guys notice about this board?
It's called.
It is colorful. I like it. It's colors that all work together, right? Orange and blue, those are complementary
Have
colors.
like a-
It looks like the brownish colors.
Kinda looks like a sun by the title. I don't know.
Like the sun.
Okay. Yeah. So it says let it rain, and it's it has something to do with turbines. And
Oh, that's what it is. A lot of sun.
yeah, so these are actually, it's hard to tell, but these are like 3D models that they've attached to the board. And I think that's a really cool idea. I think that gives it some visual interest, and it's all tied together with the same background, the same font across here. And I really like that. I thought that was a cool idea. So what about this one down here? Lemon battery.
It has a nice.
It
Has
sounds.
The,
nice title,
You can,
like
has
how
a
it
nice-
you
has
can get what
how it
they're
has
talking
it.
about from title.
The
It
title's
sounds-
very clear, right?
sounds
Yeah.
It's clear they're making a battery out of a lemon.
It kind of goes into the
It does.
But
It
it
kind of
doesn't-
overflows into the copy, doesn't it?
That's
So
not
I
good.
like this creativity of making it arched like this, but you're right, Jack.
Yeah.
It does kind of go in. I will say, if you're going to do that, at least they did it on both sides, and it's kind of symmetrical that way. Another thing that I like about this one is even though red and yellow are complementary or analogous, I think it still works
Yeah.
because you've got the yellow of the lemons, and then the red kind of symbolizes this energy that the battery's creating. So I think it still works well together. And the copy is all good size too. There's one thing on this board that I'm not crazy about.
The title going into.
Nope.
Oh, the white space at
There's
the bottom.
Nope.
Oh.
There's
The middle, like the
The
little.
light bulbs.
Yeah, the lower
these
middle.
right here are the photos.
Oh, they're really small.
They're really small. Yeah. I would have liked to have seen those a little bit bigger.